We're back for our MLB Best Bets here on Saturday, August 16th. We've got all 30 teams playing today in Major League Baseball. Looking for a positive day today after another 2-3 day yesterday. Let's get back on the right track today. A lot of games to choose from and a lot of good games, in my opinion, to choose from as well. So let's get it going. Again, all 30 teams play today in Major League Baseball. Before we get into it, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. College football season is just around the corner. Monday will be our Week 0 predictions. For college football, we will have college football best bets throughout the week as well. NFL, when that season comes as well, NFL best bets, NFL predictions. We will be predicting every single college football game, every single NFL game. Just you wait next week here on the channel. Also, in Greedo Plays MMA, tonight is UFC 319 from Chicago, Illinois. Dricus Duplessis, Hamzat Chimaev in the main event. Go make sure to check out that video, linked in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today for the MLB. Kicking things off with our Washington Nationals best bet of the day. We're going Nats plus 1.5. All right. Do I think they beat the Phillies today? I think there's a potential, honestly. I feel like the Nats, even though we did lose yesterday, not gonna lie, wasn't as bad as the end result looks. A 6-2 win for Philadelphia. Okay, that's bad. Mackenzie Gore goes 6 innings. He should have 100% came out for the 7th, but it's fine. He pitches a good 6 innings, was really bad in the first, and shuts down the Phillies from the 2nd all the way up until the 6th inning when he came out. And what happened just like on opening day? Well, Gore comes out the game, Schwarber homers, Harper homers, Phillies win the game 6-4, 6-2. It is what it is. We did not hit our team total under for Philadelphia. If Gore stays in the game, maybe we do. I think the Nats are going to keep today close. It's in DC, but it's really, well, it is, but it's a Phillies home game, right? Nationals Park right now is Citizens Bank Park South because of the amount of Phillies fans that are in DC and just take over our stadium. It's the worst. But pitching matchup tonight should be one of the first indicators. Taijuan Walker versus Cade Cavalli. Cade Cavalli in 2 starts has been good. He probably shouldn't have been sent out for a 5th inning in his last start against the Royals. A 6th inning they sent him out for against the Royals. Pitched a good 5 innings. They sent him back out for the 6th. It was not good. So Cavalli's ERA is 3.86. I'm very optimistic still about Cavalli, who, again, is just getting back into the swing of things. I think Cavalli can be really good today against the Phillies lineup that will struggle at times, and Taijuan Walker's going for Philadelphia. Now, Walker's been lights out in his last 2 starts in the month of August against the Orioles and against the Reds. He's gone 12 combined innings, given up 10 hits in those 2 starts, and only 1 run in both those starts, equaling out for a .75 ERA. So Walker's been good, but at the same time, he is very due for some regression. I don't believe Taijuan Walker is that great. I mean, look at the last 3 starts he had in the month of July. They were all serviceable, don't get me wrong, but he's going 5 innings in those, and he's given up 3 runs. If we can just get anything like that today out the Nationals scoring on Walker, we should be in a really good position. Also, the Nats lineup isn't the worst. I mean, they faced off against Zach Wheeler yesterday. They scored 2 runs. CJ Abrams drives in James Wood with an RBI double in the 1st inning, and Dalen Lyle with a Daniel Murphy-esque swing, golfs one out into right field off of Zach Wheeler. And you go from one of the best pitchers in baseball in Wheeler to Taijuan Walker, right? And then, hey, tomorrow we get Aaron Nola in his return, but Mitchell Parker is pitching tomorrow. Now we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right, like, it's not a bad matchup today at all for the Nationals. The direction of this team, I guess, is a little bit positive. Paul DeYoung's hitting the baseball extremely well, right? CJ Abrams, James Wood still doing their thing. Dylan Cruz, another hit yesterday. Cruz has 2 hits in back-to-back games. That is now a total 4-game hitting streak for Dylan Cruz if we look prior to the injury as well. And I don't think it's a horrible spot for the Nationals. So I'm going to be going with Nats plus 1.5 at -130. I know it's not the best odds, but we don't even need the Nationals to win. We just need them to keep this one close. So I'm perfectly okay with this one. And trust me, this will make sense in a second because we will talk about the next best bet right after this. But we got to talk about the New York Metropolitans. And I'm going to tie this into the Nationals real quick. And trust me, this applies to our next best bet. Here, I'll just say it. We're going Mariners money line in New York, okay? The Mets are not winning today for several reasons, but I saw this tweet from Jeff Passan, and I had to laugh. So since the Mets started 45-24, they are now 19-34, and the only team with a worse record in that time frame is the Washington Nationals at 19-35. Hey, Mets, welcome to poverty, we don't have much to celebrate this year, but at least the Mets are kind of on our level right now. You know, hey, the Reds are right there, I guess. I don't know. Are the Mets going to make the playoffs still? Probably, but who knows? Well, they've been losers in 14 out of their last 15 games. Welcome to poverty, New York, okay? This is what it feels like. So the Mets and Nationals are an elite company right now. I mean, no teams in baseball have been worse. And if you were to tell me at the beginning of the season, you know, for as optimistic as I could have been at the start of the year, if in August we are right there with the New York Mets in record over the last, 50-something games, I'd have been like, hey, I'll take that if we're right, if we're neck and neck with the Mets. Now, again, don't bring in the fact that, you know, every other team in baseball, including the White Sox and Rockies, would have better records in the last 50-something games. But, you know, we got to take our wins where we get them, right? So over the last 56 games, the Nationals and Mets have had identical records. The Mets can't buy a victory. Now, don't get me wrong. If they came to DC, the Nats would sweep them. Come on now. I mean, the Mets are just that horrible. You know, like, let's get it. I think is next week the Mets come on to DC? Hey, that losing streak is just going to continue, all right? Get ready for a sweep. Jake Irvin's going to start dealing. Brad Lord, come on. I mean, you're looking at a 3-game sweep. I think the Mets probably will get swept this weekend by the Mariners. It's not looking good for them tonight. They're going to lose in the Little League World Series game on Sunday night. George Kirby's going to deal. And then they're going to walk in DC on Tuesday. They're going to get shut down by Jake Irvin. And then Brad Lord's going to deal on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're going to see a masterclass out of Mackenzie Gore against Sean Manaea. I mean, the writing's on the wall for the Mets just to continue this losing streak. And I don't think it could get any worse than them getting swept by the Nats. So, you know, it's right there. I'm just saying, it's right there. So, welcome to poverty, New York. I hope you enjoy your stay at the bottom of the barrel, just like we are. Oh, it's great. The things I have to cheer for in August of 2025. I have to cheer for the Metropolitan. I'm just on a hate watch of the Mets instead of my team actually being good. Great. Give me the Mariners today at -130 against the New York Metropolitans. Again, like I mentioned, the only team worse in the last 56 games than the New York Mets is the Washington Nationals. By literally one loss. The Mets suck. They absolutely suck. They are horrible. And, okay, guys, I'll be honest, I don't know the most about Nolan McLean, who's going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the New York Metropolitans. He's 24 years of age. What I mean by I don't know the most about him, I haven't watched most of his minor league starts. I really haven't seen much of him. 2.45 ERA in the minors this season. Of course, Syracuse AAA, and I don't know what the Mets double is, I'll be honest with you. Is it? No, it's definitely not Buffalo's, Toronto's AAA. Regardless, though, 2.78 ERA in Syracuse this year. That's great. That's awesome. Your first star and your team's lost, 14 of 15, 15 of 16? That's a rough ask. That's a rough ask. Just is, you know? Yesterday, Mets lose 11-9, and their bullpen is atrocious. Sean Manaea did okay. But then every reliever that came in that game got dominated. You trade for Ryan Helsley, he's horrible. Take him out of St. Louis, he can't pitch no more. I mean, you get no production anywhere out your bullpen. And I know the Mariners had used their bullpen some, but Andres Munoz, Munoz can pitch today. Pitched yesterday, yes, but didn't pitch the day before. So Andres Munoz is available. Matt Brash, I believe, is available. Yeah, he didn't pitch that last game in Chicago. So the two best guys, the 8th and 9th inning guys for Seattle, which is really all that matters tonight, they can still go. And Brian Wu is pitching. Now, we've had a problem with Brian Wu all year long, and it's the fact that Brian Wu never comes through for us. He just doesn't. It's weird. Brian Wu, whenever, it doesn't matter how well the Mariners are playing, how well Brian Wu's pitching, we will pick Brian Wu, and then he'll just go 5 innings, 6 runs given up in Sacramento or some crap. Now, he doesn't pitch well against the A's, I understand. I just need Brian Wu to be good for us tonight. And I think he's going to be. Mets scored 9 runs yesterday. That's just not going to happen again. It's not, Offensively, the Mets were good. They got out to a huge lead. Seattle scores 5 in the 7th inning. The Mets scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th with the Francisco Alvarez home run, and they get shut down 1-2-3 by Andres Munoz in the bottom of the 9th. Again, we talked about this yesterday. It's the problem the Mets have. And yesterday, right, Lindor had 2 home runs, Juan Soto went yard, and they still lost the game 11-9. Here's my thing, though, with the Mets. You have so many 250 hitters. You don't have one guy who's just, oh, okay, this is your superstar. Like last year with Francisco Lindor, right? A lot of the narrative for most of the season was, okay, is Lindor the best player in the NL? Is Shohei Ohtani the best player in the National League, right? I mean, it's the sign. Again, there was no question if Ohtani's going to win the MVP or not. Again, people were making arguments for Lindor like I make the argument for Kyle Schwarber. And just like how I want Schwarber to win the MVP this year, we know it's unfortunately going to be Ohtani. However, Lindor hasn't been that type of guy this year. He hasn't been MVP level Francisco Lindor in 2025. He's a 253 hitter. Juan Soto bats 252. Brandon Nimmo bats 251. Jeff McNeil bats 250. Yes, you've got guys who bat 253, 252, 251, and 250 all in your lineup. And then there's Pete Alonso, who's great, went 0 for 5 yesterday. On top of that, their bullpen is atrocious. Adding Ryan Helsley didn't help. You know, they've had struggles throughout the season, and it just continues. They had Frankie Montas going meaningful innings late in the game yesterday. And I get it. Seattle had used a bunch of their bullpen as well. Ultimately, what matters is that they're two guys with 1.39 and 1.31 ERAs, and Munoz and Brash can pitch tonight. We're okay. We are fine. And on top of that, Brian Wu's going. Again, we talk about the Mariners all the time, the most home run dependent team in the league. They are. They only had 2 home runs yesterday, though. Mitch Garver went yard in the second or the first? Second, I believe. Yeah, it was the second inning home run. And then it was a home run from Cal Raleigh in the third inning. And now you get a pitcher making his major league debut in the midst of the Mets' biggest collapse of the season, as they are scratching and clawing their way to stay in the postseason. I mean, as we look right now in the wild card race, the New York Metropolitans are only a half game up of the Cincinnati Reds. With that payroll, yikes. Now, if the Reds didn't blow an 8-run lead yesterday, you know, they would have. But, I mean, the Brewers, great team, fun team to watch. Nobody's scared of them in the playoffs. They have got some devil sorcery voodoo magic cooking up right now in Milwaukee. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make sense. It's all fun and games until they run into the wild card Padres in the NLDS. They lose in 4. Like, let's just be honest, okay? Or the wild card Dodgers, for that matter. But maybe Padres, who knows? The Reds are going to catch the Mets, I think, but we'll wait for that. I'm going Mariners money line -130. I just don't like Nolan McLean making his MLB debut in the midst of this huge losing streak for the Mets. Also, the Mets do not have bullpen depth to back him up today, so McLean has to go deep in the game. We know Brian Wu's going to go deep into the game, and if Brian Wu, which perfect scenario, goes 7 innings, give the 8th inning to Brash, give the 9th inning to Munoz, and we win the game. Give me Seattle Mariners money line in New York, in Queens. I'm seeing -130. I'm seeing -125. Find your best price and take the M's. Let's move on to our third best bet of the video. We move to our daily NRFI. Let's go to this AL Central matchup between the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. We hit this game a couple days ago for our NRFI when Tarek Skubal was pitching, and going for the Twins was Bailey Oberkrecht. No runs were scored in that game on Thursday. Yesterday, our NRFI hit as well. Shout out Jacob deGrom and company over there in the Texas-Toronto game. Chris Bassett came through for us too. So back-to-back NRFI victories after, yes, we have struggled a lot this season with NRFIs, but we've been putting them together now, and let's look for 3 in a row. Again, going back to Tigers-Twins on Fox, pitching matchup, Casey Mize versus Zebby Matthews. Okay, well, obviously not as easy as Tarek Skubal bump day. However, I do believe Casey Mize is going to get the first 3 outs. The guy who scares me from Minnesota is undoubtedly Byron Buxton. However, the Twins are coming off a game yesterday where they got shut out, and they only had 2 hits. The 2 hits came from Keyshaw and Brooks Lee. Okay? Yeah. And Charlie Morton, who, by the way, has somehow just found it again after being traded to the Tigers. AJ Hinch baseball, he's just back, I guess. I don't know. Morton's going to pitch meaningful innings in the playoffs, I guess. I know he had the best start. I think it was against the Angels. But on the Sunday Night Baseball game and the last night, Charlie Morton's been pretty good. Okay. I don't think Casey Mize is giving up a run in the first inning. Again, the guy who scares me is Buxton, undoubtedly. Other than that, Larnach, doesn't really scare me. Cody Clemens definitely doesn't scare me. Keyshaw's not a bad hitter, obviously. He's still young in his career. But I'm going to take Casey Mize to get through the first inning, at least in the bottom half. The tougher part's going to be the top half of the inning, obviously, with the 72 and 52 Tigers going up against Zebby Matthews. Now, I called Zebby Matthews trash earlier in the year, and that was partially just because, you know, I expected more out of the Washington Nationals, and they couldn't get any run support from Mackenzie Gore when they were facing Zebby Matthews, who at one point was sporting an 8 ERA before his start against the Nats. However, Zebby Matthews, since that national start, actually kind of has been trash. No, that's not fair. His next start immediately after the Nats start was horrible against the Boston Red Sox, 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. His second 2 starts after, though, were pretty solid against the Tigers and the Yankees, especially that Tigers start, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. You wonder why I'm going with the NRFI today? because of that last start against the Tigers. You know, his last start on August 11th against the Yankees was just okay. 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. You know what? That's a serviceable start with 9 strikeouts, 100%. But again, the main reason I'm taking the NRFI is because of how Matthews pitched against Detroit. Now again, completely different day. Hell, we had Angels money line yesterday, and the Angels were 7-0 going into yesterday, taking on the Athletics, and of course they lose. And you see Kikuchi looked like legitimately one of the worst pitchers I've watched all year long. I know he isn't that. You know, Kikuchi's great. Yesterday he was atrocious. He was breaking stuff in the middle of the plate. He could not blow anybody away with his fastball. He was getting squeezed as well. And you know, this is a guy who earlier in the year against the A's pitched 7 1/3 shutout innings, and then yesterday he goes into Sacramento and he gets lit up. Right? That's just baseball sometimes. But I'm going to play the historic matchup. That's one way to put it. I'm going to play the trends in the past with this Tigers-Twins game with Mlb Matthews. Again, on August 5th in Detroit at Comerica, he goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. And his team, the Twins, win the game 6-3. Again, we don't care about the eventual winner of this ball game, but I do think it's meaningful. Okay, Mlb Matthews pitched really well against Detroit, and that's just 2 starts ago. So Matthews will likely see... he'll probably see a combination of... I'll probably see the same lineup as he did as the Tigers sent out yesterday, right? I know, again, Hinch changes his lineup every single day, but we're probably going to see Colt Keith, Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, and Riley Green, and then Torque in the 6. Torque in the 5. Okay. You know, there's guys in that lineup who obviously can concern you. Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter. There's good bats in the lineup, do not get me wrong. I do just think Mlb Matthews is going to be able to come through, partially, again, because of how well he pitched last time around against Detroit. And, right, we get minus 120. I don't think the Twins are scoring on Casey Mize. The only guy who I'm somewhat concerned about is going to be Byron Buxton, and if we can get Buxton off the base paths and hold him again to literally nothing, we should be fine. And I'll take my chances on the other side of things in the top half of the first inning with Mlb Matthews. Essentially, if Matthews gets out of the top of the first inning, I'm feeling really confident going in the bottom half of the first, just because of how the Twins played yesterday. 2 hits in 9 innings and 0 runs. And that was Charlie Morton, who has been better. But I'm taking Casey. If I get to pick Casey Mize or Charlie Morton, who am I starting in a 1-game situation? I'm taking Casey Mize. So give me the Detroit Tigers and Minnesota Twins NRFI today from Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The line is set at minus 120, and we are taking it again. No runs scored in the first inning. Okay, let's move on to our 4th best bet of the video. I think this line might move because I'm recording this video immediately after the Tampa Bay Rays won in San Francisco yesterday. What a collapse by the Giants. As of now, at 11 o'clock at night, this line is set at minus 130 for the Giants and plus 110 for the Tampa Bay Rays. I have a feeling this is going to trend more in the minus 115 direction for the Giants and minus 105 for Tampa Bay. Again, you're seeing this video if you're first watching it when it's coming out, 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't know where this line's going to be at by now. I think, again, if you can get this line anywhere near plus money for Tampa Bay, I would take it. And we're not just doing this because of how bad the Giants have been and because of the losing streak. No, I'm doing this because of the pitching matchup as well. Again, the losing streak and now how inefficient and horrible the Giants have been does play a factor. On top of that, though, look at the guys in the mound. Adrian Hauser and Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander's last start against the Nationals was atrocious, with the exception of him dealing against newly designated for assignment player Nathaniel Lowe. He was god-awful against the Nats. I was there. I saw it. It was really bad. Get Unk out of there. Against the Nats on Sunday, JV goes 5 innings, 11 hits, and 5 runs. So we want to talk about the Mets being one of the worst teams in baseball right now because they are. The San Francisco Giants might be even worse. Nope, the Giants went to New York and actually won a series. You know, the Mets came to San Francisco and swept them. So, I don't know. Anyways, the Giants have now lost 6 consecutive games. They lost the last 2 against the Nats, they get swept by the Padres, and yesterday the Tampa Bay Rays come into town and beat them. That game was hilarious. Giants get out to an early lead, Rays tie it, they're down 6-2, they tie it at 6-6. Bottom of the 8th inning, Giants have bases loaded, no outs. What happens? Line out, ground out, ground out. Bases loaded, no outs, bottom of the 8th, and the Giants get nothing. Top of the 9th, Randy Rodriguez comes in. He hits the leadoff man. Chandler Simpson singles, who's, by the way, turning into a fantastic baseball player. Runners in the corners. Eventually, ball drops in right field. I think it was Yandy Diaz, if I'm not mistaken. Rays win the game 7-6. Giants get a chance in the bottom of the 9th, by the way. Rafi Devers leads off the inning with a a very hard hit double. He gets stranded on third base to end the game. They can't bring him in. Oh, man, the Giants are atrocious. Now, at least they scored, right? Because you look at what they did, in their last 4 games prior to that Tampa loss yesterday. They scored 0 runs on Sunday. They scored 1 run on Monday, and they scored 1 run in each of the 3 Padres games on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They did score 6 yesterday, but ultimately, Tampa put 7 on them. Pitching matchup tonight is Justin Verlander, Adrian Houser. Justin Verlander is not good in 2025. He's 42 years of age. I believe the Giants have a club option. I think they do. For their sake, I hope they do. Because I wouldn't keep JV around anymore. I can't see the point in that. Maybe the Astros take him back next season. I don't know. Probably not. There's a reason he's not there right now. But anyways, JV's not really a quality pitcher anymore in 2025. He'll have his starts like he did in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, but those are far and few in between. Adrian Houser this season has a 2.84 ERA. He has struggled so far at Tampa. I understand ERA is 7.59. He was much better in Chicago, who is the one team that you can get back and focused and you can just go right through after losing, after just being shit, let's be honest. It's the San Francisco Giants. Look at Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore had struggled in his last 6 starts before going into San Francisco. Goes into San Francisco, posts his second best game of the season, 10 strikeouts, 6 innings, and 0 runs. Comes back yesterday, pitches a really good game against the Philadelphia Phillies. Pitching against the Giants gets you right. Every starting pitcher goes into San Francisco or goes into a Giants matchup as a get-right game. It's exactly what it is today for Adrian Houser. I don't care that, the Mariners hit him up. The Angels hit well against him. The Mariners have, one of the best power hitting teams in baseball. Contact-wise, they're crap, but one of the best power hitting teams in the game. And the Angels are a scrappy bunch of guys who refuse to go away. Or the Giants have. Matt Chapman's out. Doesn't really affect much. They're going to be playing Casey Schmidt at third every day until Chapman comes back. You get rid of the glove, but Chapman, oddly enough, had made 2 errors in the last week, but yeah, you get a little bit worse with Schmidt there, just because again you take Schmidt away from another position, obviously, and you got to play Koss at second base or whatnot, or Drew Gilbert's playing in the outfield now. No, he was just playing there in general. Drew Gilbert, man, he's been struggling since coming to San Francisco. Yeah, I just don't think the Giants are going to score much. I think they're going to score maybe 2 runs max tonight. Tampa, they'll score 5 off of Verlander alone, and that's going to be good enough for the victory. So I'm not concerned about this game at all. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Rays. I just witnessed it, literally 30 minutes ago. I turned off the game and turned on my camera here. Don't get me wrong. I was taking Rays money line regardless of what happened last night because Verlander's in the bump. But yesterday's loss makes it even better. San Francisco's lost 6 in a row, so the theme of today's video, overarching theme, is, okay, we're going to be playing against, or we're going to be betting against teams who have just been crap recently. Mets, Giants, they've been bad a lot. I think they can be bad one more day. Spoiler alert, we might be doing this again tomorrow. Nah, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely the Mets, because we got to get a game in. We got to get a bet in for the Little League game. I don't know about the Giants. I will be in attendance for the Giants game tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait for them to get 0 runs for Logan Webb. It's going to be hilarious. Anyways, give me your Rays money line here on Saturday. Okay, final best bet of the video. Let's go to our best player prop of the day. Give me Manny Machado. All right, Manny. Your team needs you here, pal. 0 for 4 yesterday. Offense was hard to come by yesterday for San Diego, as now they and the Dodgers have identical records. They are both 69 and 53. San Diego struggled yesterday. They got on the board first in the second inning with a Ramon Laureano home run. Dodgers scored 2 in the bottom of the third. Teo adds an insurance run in the bottom of the 7th. Luis Arraez sacrifice fly in the top of the 8th. They got a base runner in the top of the 9th with Jackson Merrill. He gets left eventually at first base. Jack Dreyer comes in to get 1 out after they sent Alexis Diaz out to try to close it out initially. Yes, that's the state of the Dodgers bullpen. They're throwing Alexis Diaz out there in 2025. Wow. Okay, you get Manny Machado against a lefty today. And now it's not just any lefty, it's Blake Snell. So it's Blake Snell's first game as a Los Angeles Dodger against the Padres. Well, yeah, okay. It is. He's pitched against the Padres since since leaving. But as a Dodger, this is the first time around. I'm pretty sure he pitched against them as a Giant last season. I'm fairly confident he did. No, he didn't. Wow. Yeah, no, this is just his first game since leaving. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, this guy's just he's just getting tossed around between the National League West squads. At least make it fair. Go to the Rockies next, right? Anyways, Yeah, Blake Snell's a Dodger. It's just like, it annoys me still. Like, he's here. It's just stupid. How do you go from Padres to Giants to Dodgers? It just makes no sense. And of course, the team he ends up on is whatever. Anyways, yeah, Manny, what you gonna do about it, pal? Your team lost yesterday. You were bad yesterday. What you gonna do about it? You're facing a lefty in Blake Snell, who used to be on your team, was on your team for the last, what, 4 years? How long was he there in San Diego? 4 years, I believe? 6? He was there for a while. Well, it's post 2020, actually. It's post the Rays World Series. It was only 3 years. I feel like Snell was in San Diego for longer. Regardless, though, this is a guy that was on your team for 3 years. He leaves to go play for the Giants, and then it gets worse. Then he goes to the Dodgers. I mean, this is the best rivalry in baseball. It just is. Now, not historically standing, but like currently, yes, this is the best rivalry in baseball. Dodgers-Padres. There's not a game that's more electrifying right now than Dodgers and San Diego. And now the Dodgers have won a lot recently against the Padres. Don't get me wrong, dating back to the postseason last year, even though the Padres beat them, the time before in the playoffs. But recently, in the regular season, the Dodgers have gotten the better of San Diego. They got the better of them last year in the National League Divisional Series. I think they're probably destined to play again in the postseason this year. We will see. But these games mean something, and they mean something to the point that okay, the starting pitcher tonight for the Dodgers used to be on San Diego, and this is his first matchup against his former team since leaving. Manny Machado is the best hitter on this team. He's going to come through, especially after an 0-4 night yesterday. Machado this season batting .294 with 20 homers and 72 RBI. I expect a Machado home run today. I just do. Big-time players step up in big-time moments. The month of August for Machado actually has not been too kind for him, batting .235. He was just okay in the Giant series. Got a hit in every single game, but in terms of getting the over 1.5 total bag mark, only did it once on Wednesday in the blowout game. He did, I think that was, Machado ripped one down the line. That was the shitty Elliot Ramos throw. Anyways, though, Machado's due, I think, for a home run. He hasn't hit a home run in a minute. Actually, has not hit one in the month of August. And the Padres, hit the least amount of home runs in baseball. But Machado's not homered since Tuesday, July 29th. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since Manny's gone yard. He is very due for one, and I believe he runs into one tonight. I believe so. Yeah, I was actually at that game where Machado went yard against the Mets. So it's been a minute. I think he's going to do it against Blake Snell. And don't get me wrong, Snell's been good this year. Obviously, he's dealt with injuries, but since the injury, 2 starts against Tampa and against Toronto. Against the Rays, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Last start, though, against the Blue Jays was really good on Saturday night. 5 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs, and 10 strikeouts. I mean, that's a Blake Snell-type performance. I mean, there's a reason, right? The Dodgers gave him a boatload of money to come play here. I believe Machado's going to get the better of that matchup. Again, former teammates. Machado steps up in the big moment, and I think he's going to come through tonight. I'm going Manny Machado over 1.5 total bags. Again, I believe the Padres are going to win this game too, even though it's Dylan Cease versus Snell. Cease has been good strikeout-wise. We just need to get the runs down. I'm not going to play money lines tonight, but I am going to go with Manny Machado plus 105 on the over 1.5 total base mark in Chavez Ravine against his former team as well, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Give me Machado at plus 105. So, folks, thank you all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for August 16th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets. Again, don't forget, Monday, college football season begins for us here on the channel. Week number 0 for the college football slate. Full predictions for that week on Monday. And again, make sure to go check out Greedo Plays MMA, UFC 319 predictions up right now. That card is later today. Folks, thank you all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.